Hey there, how you doing? It's AJ Jones here. No, that's not how I wanted to start it. That's fine. Wait,
Is
and
this gonna
I'm half distracted because I have an Instacart order that just finally I just
is
kept
this
my
gonna
eyes on.
is this gonna be a blooper?
Yeah, this is gonna be a straight edit. So let me start
Mhm.
over again. Welcome to Birds of a Feather. This is your girl AJ, the Suburban Princess here, back with another edition post-election shit. But anyway, we're not gonna talk about that. Welcome our co-ed.
No.
Eddie B, what's up?
Yeah, I mean I've had better weeks, but
Yeah, you too.
yeah. But you know what? I can't dwell on that. It happens. Nothing you can do about it now.
We've been through it before, but it just feels
Yeah.
quite final this time. But anyway, whatever. Let's talk about the winning birds. That was quite a game of spectacular catches. I don't know how
Yeah.
many times you watched it, but I think I rewatched the game and Saquon's wonderful backward hurdle maybe
Yeah.
1,000 times now.
That
How
was
about
a nasty move, and that was a great catch by Devonta. Insane.
nothing but core. That is core strength that you wish you could have.
Yeah, that catch was insane. He just laid out, pulled that in, and
Oh,
got
you're
both
talking about
feet.
Devonta. I was talking about
Yeah,
Saquon.
got both. Well, he's just a freak. So it's like
He's a freak. He's
yeah.
not real.
He said, "Did you hear what he said?" He's like, "Yeah, I was gonna do a double spin, but then my body took over." I'm like, that
Um,
must be yeah, that's crazy. I was gonna do a double spin, but then he said he guess he caught a glimpse of the game. He said his body took over. He just jumped back. I'm like, then he just jumped over. I'm like, wow, that must be nice to have that much physical prowess to be able to just be like, I'm just gonna jump off over this person.
you imagine people at his age going, it hurts me to bend over. And he's jumping three guys while spinning and dodging the first one, like four players. Ridiculous.
Hmm.
I mean,
It's
he's
insane.
ungodly strong, ungodly. But yes, going back to what you were talking about, yes, Devonta, as usual, has made ridiculous catches since he's been an Eagle, and every catch
Hmm.
always leaves me going, was his feet in? Because I couldn't even tell until I watched the replay. I was like, yo, he
Crazy
dragged his.
one handed. Like,
Because we saw that they took back one of those catches in the Super Bowl that was just like that, but it was on the side,
yeah,
and I thought he had control, but whatever. They were just being ticky tack. But and then we have the spectacular. Technically, Saquon took this whole game really because I forgot he had both ends touchdown.
yeah. That the first catch that he made, yeah.
First catch, and then also the first catch was like basically what he did in Green Bay. It was that kind of a throw that Jalen
Hmm.
to him, and then the other
Yeah,
one he ran in because they just left a big old hole on the right side, and he just ran with it. But he
yeah,
was taking it home. But spectacular catches or not, let's just shout out the fact that too, N'Kobe Dean showed up at the right damn time when that game looked like it was going backwards very quickly.
yeah. I mean, he had another good game. I mean, in general, like,
The right place, right time.
yeah, him and Zach Braun was all over the place again.
That Bond, I actually rewatched well, I didn't rewatch it. I just watched it this morning to get my mind off of things, and I ended up
Mhm.
watching the tail of the tape basically when the Inside the Birds with Greg Cosell they go over the all 22. I never thought I'd be into that crap, but I was curious as to whether or not Greg was going to critique the fact that some of those throws that Jalen had could have been sooner. And I'm
Mhm.
so glad he zeroed in on a couple of those moments where Jalen might have hesitated before he got to AJ, before AJ got hurt and went out the rest of the game. But AJ almost had a touchdown and he was a second too late. And then the defender got on him pretty well. But shout out
Yeah,
to Jacksonville's defense because that was all they offered for that whole game was a stellar defense. But everything else, they pretty much had control.
yeah. I mean, I mean, in all honesty, that defensive touchdown was bullshit because that didn't. That was. You mean how is he not down?
Mm-hmm.
How I don't understand that. Like that's crazy. That game should never been that close because they should never scored that second touchdown.
No, that fumble
And,
was Saquon didn't help, but I also still didn't think that wasn't he was already down. He was down. The commentator said it, and even I think the guy that
That was a
usually they give the
Santori.
opinion. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
he was
Santori.
like they
Who I
thought he
wish
was
would
down.
shut his mouth sometimes, but
Yeah, but that was the one time that you knew that he knew. What we all saw was like he was down. What are you talking about?
what would a restaurant to cover the spread or something? Like, is what I was trying to say. Like, I was trying to say to somebody else, they're like, yeah. I was like, what are they trying to cover the spread? Because that was insane. There's no way you tell me that you can't see the guy's whole hand moved as it hit his leg. Like,
I don't
so
understand what running into his own teammate before the fact that he was down and touched by the defender to begin with really had anything to do with whether or
well, he
not
stumbled. Yeah, he kind of stumbled into his own man because his leg was
because of
contacted.
his leg being right. So whatever. The refs were
Yeah,
very off during this game, but luckily the Eagles did not let that defeat them because they pretty much almost mailed that game themselves because they were up 22-0 in the half. And
hmm
for that one little oopsie that kind of snowballed into something else. And then after that, I think defense just gave the fuck up for like a couple of downs and it became a tighter game than it needed to be. But thank God for Jacoby.
yeah. I
Nakobe.
mean, yeah, and the rest of the defense made plays when they had to. I mean, they towards the end too.
Yeah, they came back to life. It was just
Yeah,
the fact that they had to do that. Like that game was so in their hands, and it's almost like I think Lane said it best. They did lose focus for a minute. They kind of got the game got ahead of them, and they had to find their way back. So I was
yeah.
glad eventually that the sacks were coming again, and luckily Trevor Lawrence is not a good quarterback, so it was easy for the defense to overcome him. But also shout out to 83 Jahan Dotson for his wonderful behind the defender
Yeah, that was
helmet
a like
bring back
bobble to
in
himself. Right.
boggle to himself behind the
Yeah.
defender's head, almost reminiscent of when the Giants player caught that touchdown in the Super Bowl on his
Off the
helmet.
guy's helmet. The
Yeah.
helmet catch.
So yeah, shout out to Jahan because when he showed up, it was very well needed, especially once AJ was out with the knee issue. Um,
Yeah.
and
You know they
definitely I
drug
agree with you. Zach Bond was great too.
yeah, you know they drug tested Saquon after the game, right?
Yes, I just saw that. I meant to text you, but I was still on the phone with my dad. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Yeah, of course they would drug test him. I would too, because they were
I
like,
mean,
oh, you
he
got
ran
upset.
for what? He ran for like 199 yards. He had
Yes,
199 yards or
yes,
something.
yes. It was 1 yard away from 200. Yeah. And the fact that I thought he was going to be tired. I expected him to not be playing as much the second half. I thought they were going to rest him and just stick to Gainwell and them, but
Yeah, he wanted to play,
he
so
wanted to play. So, but yeah, once that fumble happened, though, I got nervous because then I said, "Oh God, maybe he's pressing too much. Maybe they should keep him on the sidelines." Because I'm like, maybe he is getting ahead of himself. But eventually the
yeah.
game just got better under control. But not until what's his name scored 23 points. Defense gave up 23 points for Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have been even that close. Maybe just let that one touchdown happen and then quit after that. But then
Well,
it just got to be they took
that other
advantage of
touchdown.
it.
Well, that one touchdown's not on defense anyway.
Yeah, it's
So
not. But it's just
yeah,
the fact that they had another one. So I was like, I could tell they were getting tired. Something was happening. It was breaking down.
yeah.
But overall, pretty damn exciting. And it's always the Kelly Green games, I'm telling you. I still go back to the ones from
Mm-hmm.
last year because I thought they were great games. But
Or like when they played Miami and they destroyed
oh
Miami
yes.
and
Yes.
when Kelly Green and Miami was on fire the week before.
The
Did they
but
put
the
up like 16? Did they put up like 60 points on somebody the week before?
Yeah, that was the 70 points and
It was
against the
70 points. Yeah,
Broncos.
70.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
70 points against the Broncos. Yeah, it was
yeah.
embarrassing.
That was crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think everybody thought we would lose that game, and it was like,
Everybody
nope.
thought we were gonna get blown out. They're like, they're gonna get
Right.
blown. I was like, they're not gonna get blown out by the Dolphins.
No, the only miscalculation of that whole game was Jalen throwing that deflection interception, and other than that,
Yeah,
the
but
game was pretty solid. But the Buffalo Bills one was the one that drove me crazy because they had a nerve to go into overtime. That pissed me off because they shouldn't have been in
yeah,
overtime. That game was like it was a duel for a duel. Like they were seriously going at it, and Josh wasn't laying down. The bad Josh Allen didn't show up, so that's why that game was like neck and neck. But
but you know,
I was mad they went to overtime.
this week is gonna be
I'm
we
not
have
even excited for Dallas week. Are you?
a diminished Cowboy team. Well,
I
I
was
was
going to
gonna
say, are you excited? Like, does it feel like Dallas week to you? No.
I mean, because Dak's not gonna be there.
But it's
That's
not
why.
even that. It's just like I don't.
Well,
It's
they've
probably
been
because of the
and
election.
they.
I'm,
I
I'm
mean,
probably
because one, they've been playing so bad lately too. So
And then I don't think CD's playing either because he hurt his shoulder.
Yeah, I think Parsons should be back. Supposed to be back for this game.
Yeah, he's usually a pain in the butt. But if that's the only problem they have defense wise, then that's probably the best thing for them to worry about. But
Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't feel like Dallas week to me. Normally, this would be hype week. I'd be really excited. It's their first game, but it's not home. So the next time they play Dallas would be week 17. They're going to be back in the Kelly Green. So I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
that's going to be even more hype because by then usually
So
no one's really starting.
and Dak should be
Um,
back by then. It depend on,
yeah.
but see, it's going to be depending on how things are going. Like, are we going to
No, I
even
know.
play
Yeah.
anybody?
Because,
Yeah.
yeah, week 17 usually means nothing to me because I always feel like we're either in the playoffs for sure, a wild card by then,
Yeah.
or
If we don't need that game,
if
then
we don't need that game, nobody's going to really be starting. So it'll probably just be a Pickett, you know.
yeah.
And so
Oh
maybe
God.
he's excited. I know. I hope not either. I would rather even Tall Boy start. What's his name that I like? The tall young one,
I
rookie.
always forget. I always forget his name because you
I
don't
forget his
see him
name too. I
much
just call him Tall Boy because he's the tallest one. But
because you never
anyway,
see him anymore, really.
yeah, we don't, which is good. But I'd rather he be too. But that's here nor there. But yeah, overall
Yeah.
the game was definitely worth watching. It kept me on my toes more than I thought because the way they were starting to let the Jaguars creep back in. But poor Doug Peterson. I feel like he's ending his career just like he ended with Carson Wentz with this team because it's
Yeah.
like
I mean, he'll be gone. I don't know when they're going to make change, but
mhm.
they probably won't. They'll probably wait to the end of the year though. At this
I
point,
think they'll wait because I think that for the fact that they did come back into this game showed that they had some kind of pride that
yeah.
they could take advantage of where the Eagles started slacking. So
As much as it doesn't really make sense right now to move on from your coach right now at this point. I mean, we're at
I mean, if you don't
uh,
feel confident about whoever would back him up too, then there's no reason to fire him.
yeah. It's
If
like
you feel
you
like he
know,
has a good backup.
I mean, I wouldn't be upset,
Mm-mm.
but you know, I don't see Sirianni making it past this year
I'm glad you
without
said that
with
because
us.
I'm still on that too. I mean, I have an announcement too, Eddie. I have deactivated my X account.
Oh, you did.
I have decided to give up the ghost. I felt
uh,
like, especially at this time of the year when
Twitter's a foul place anyway. It's okay. You can
it
leave it
was
alone.
fun for me to be able to pop off my sports points, but I feel like now the bots are high now that Felon 5047 is coming back in the office. So I don't want to deal with his little cousin trying to be smart ass because you be knowing my
Oh,
tweets.
I mean, his buddy. He just made all his money off him winning.
Oh
So that
yeah,
means
now their money just went up, so now everything's great for them. But it's gonna be even
so
more hell.
nothing will change for me and you.
No, I know. I just for
Well,
me, I knew it wasn't.
much as they say it will, like, oh, we're gonna do more to uh you know for the middle class. For no, they're not. They're not gonna do anything. He didn't do anything
No,
for us last time.
they
He didn't
don't
do anything
care.
for us last time. So what is he
It's
talking
about a
about?
year or two in, and people will start seeing why this was a bad idea. But we don't want to go there.
I mean,
But
all he's gonna do is focus on the rich people. So
that's all he's about. But
yeah,
anyway, so the point is, for those of y'all who thought that was a great decision, fuck y'all. Just like they
yeah.
said on the Daily Show.
As somebody said, oh, yo, she is.
Yeah, Destiny. She was like, basically, fuck all y'all.
I love Bessie. And
I agree.
you can look in her eyes and see that she meant every word
Oh,
of what
she
she
meant
said.
it, and I don't blame her. And I like the fact they let her say it and not any of the like Dulce or something because you expect it from Dulce or Josh Johnson, but
No, but she has
for
great
her to
delivery.
say it and deliver like that with a smile was like, fuck
Yeah.
y'all.
If you look at her eyes, look like she was crying though. Like
Well,
she's
yeah,
not looking.
everybody. I mean, my dad even just
Yeah,
said he's gotten over being depressed. I'm just now starting to feel a little normal, but I've been numb for 2 days straight. Like I didn't sleep very well. So it's
yeah,
just I didn't want to talk about this anyway. My point was that I got off of X because I didn't want to deal with the bots, but I do miss being able to talk trash. I am staying with Threads and Instagram for now. But my addiction to social media has to die down because I know at this point it's going to get very weird
oh yeah, it is.
and it's just too easy. Like I know now how they hack some of these things now that I
I'm rarely
understand.
on Twitter anyway, so
No, you are, and that's why I say like I get why you're not on it as much, but I generally was in it for the Eagles Twitter gang. But I
mhm.
just feel like eventually people will figure out if they want to where I'm at. I'm
Yeah.
not
I mean,
really getting into it,
yeah, I'm
but
only on when I communicate with you on there. Sometimes that's
I know
about
you
it.
do, and you inbox me all the time, and I'm always like, why doesn't he just tweet me on my regular page? But then it's like you probably don't want any interaction because people do chime in out of nowhere. People I don't even follow because that's
Oh
the one
yeah,
thing
that's
I
why I
hated about that.
inboxed you. I was like, I'm not putting it on your page. People, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna make a comment on here. Like, yo, shut the fuck up.
I
I'm
know, and that's
on
the
this.
thing. But then I'm like, again, I told you last pod, I never thought anybody paid attention to my tweets. But that one stupid tweet about being worried about the Washington game, which I still am, I'm going to stand on that even more so now that I'm not off there. Fuck all y'all. Because that
Look,
Washington game is going to mean something next Thursday. Trust and believe.
I mean, it is because
It's going to be a good
they're
game.
both of them are at top of the freaking division. So
Jaden
it,
versus Jalen is going to be a good freaking game. Kiss my
it's
ass.
gonna mean
Sorry.
something because
Because Washington will get the division if we lose. So
mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, they just will. I hate to tell people that. They don't want to act like the Commanders are having a real good. No, they are, motherfucker. They are. Trust me. This is the time to actually give the Commanders a little credit for as fast as they've gotten back into the driver's seat because that rookie ain't no joke and he deserves Rookie of the Year. I can already tell you.
It'll be good to see how they respond against. I mean, we're gonna be the first good team they really play.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's why I think.
Um,
But here's where it's going to be the comparison, though, because the little things that still bother me about Jalen, even though I love him, I know that Jaden himself does not have a problem with delivery. You know what I mean? So it'll be a battle of technique and
mm-hmm.
it'll be a battle of growth because Jalen now being in his fifth season versus a kid who's a rookie and he's already looking like he's in his fifth year. You have to see how much Jalen has grown against this type of an opponent.
Yeah, but the
So
big question, on him is like, yeah, some of these guys always come out, they come out firing, but is that going to last? And is that going to last in their second year? Are they going to be able to
which
continue
is
that?
which is probably why people were coming on me for even saying that as he's a rookie now. But there's just certain things you can pick up watching a QB operate that don't come as fast to guys who are just rookies that are coming fast to him.
Yeah,
It's just simple delivery, and that's why I said I can already see that now. So if everyone's starting to big him up, it's not just because they're having a good season; it's because of the way he delivers the ball. Period. He knows when to run, when not to. He has busted ribs, so that's the only thing that could possibly slow him down this game with us because he may not be throwing it as much because he's probably
yeah.
trying to heal. So my whole thing is people can get on me all they want about the Commanders, but this might actually be the year to watch them grow because come next year, they might be even more solid than they are now. So that's all my point
I
was.
mean,
But
I
it's
mean, yeah.
exciting.
I mean, he's not my own team, but I like to see young brother have a good career. Yeah.
That's my point. That's where I'm at because looking at how their things are going in Indy for Anthony Richardson, which is not the same. I don't want to kill somebody when they're down unless he actually gives a fuck about what where his trajectory is going, which
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure he does. But after his little soundbite 2 weeks ago about admitting he was tired, it didn't sound very professional. But I keep forgetting, as big as he is, Anthony's only 23. You know what I mean? So he's still
Yeah, he's
young
still
in
young. Yeah.
understanding. Yeah. So, but the latest clip, I don't know if you saw it, but I put it on our stories for our IG page for CoEd Edition.
Mm.
The coach from the Vikings gave him a nice little, encouragement as they were hugging after the end of the game and said that, you may not see it, but I see big things for you. You're going to be in this league for a long time. I believe it.
Yeah,
Trust me. He's like, I told your coach. And I said, that's good to hear from someone who doesn't have to give him that kind of props.
yeah.
You know what I
I mean,
mean?
he's talented, but the fact is
He just
like
has to rein it in.
he needs to rein it in, and he's missed. He has a lot of setbacks from like having not having playing full years sometimes too. Like
Yeah, he never played that. They said he never played that long in what college or high school.
well that and like he's not every year he's getting hurt, but he's had setbacks where he missed games.
He's missing a lot. He hasn't been available because he's been hurt. Yeah, because he's playing
Yeah.
instinctually, which is usually what, as we go back, as we talked before, the stereotype about black quarterbacks is that they're so athletic, but they don't think about preserving their body by staying in the pocket.
Mm.
If he could figure out where the hell the guy is at the time he wants to deliver the ball, his first instinct is to run. The difference with someone like Jalen Hurts now is that he's done all of that. Now he
Yeah.
realizes why it's important for him to keep his body available. So he'll run when he absolutely feels the need to run.
Yeah, take a couple hits every now and then. You start to change.
He does. Yeah, he does. And I think he also just learned why they do that to black quarterbacks specifically. Is like you will get taken out, and that's not cool. Even Josh Allen figured that out. As much as he was the most runningest white quarterback in the past couple years, he also got beat up a lot and got tons of concussions. So I think at this point, even he's learning. Like, I need to
Yeah,
chill. Like, I can't keep running all the time. So
yeah. You're gonna
I
shorten
just
your
feel like
career
now
for
it's
no
gotten
reason.
outside of the black quarterback thing, but I always bring that up because that's usually the criticism for every black quarterback is that all they knew to do is run. They don't know how
Yeah.
to stay in the pocket. Well, Jalen Hurts has busted all those myths. So I just feel like watching this matchup next week, damn the Cowboys. This game is such a non-exciting event at this point, especially when Dak's not playing. I just feel like, and Dak's another one that like he has the potential, but the problem is he gets paid for his potential, not for what he actually is.
I mean, he was so
And
great.
that's
I
what
mean,
makes it annoying for him. Yeah.
and he's been there for how many times? He's been
He's longer than Jalen.
Jalen's 5. He's like
So
at
he's
least what,
six or
8?
seven, maybe 7 or 8. Yeah.
Yeah, because if
So
Jalen's 5, he's got to be 8.
yeah, because you
Because
have to
Dak is,
consider the year he was out when he broke his ankle. So and they
yeah,
re-signed him.
Dak has been
So
around for a minute. So I
right.
mean,
And so if he's regressing in his 8th season, like at this point, it's not gonna get any better. Like, they called him on the sidelines admitting, supposedly if his
mhm.
words were right, saying that they suck. Like he knows, like they're in a bad way right now. And no one's gonna disagree with him because how many times have I told you the Cowboys are just shiny shit? Like
Oh,
what happened?
did you see that he might need season-ending surgery on his hamstring?
Shut up. Oh no. You're right.
That
You're right. Because I
sucks.
did see that. They said that
I just saw it just now. I was like, oh,
the muscle possibly came off the bone.
oh yeah, he's done that.
He's
Because
done.
because
Oh
that's
my
not going to heal.
God.
That's not going to heal before the season's over.
No,
He's
it
going to have
isn't.
to. Yeah, he's going to need surgery to get that
That's
fixed.
too funny you brought that up because I saw it, but I forgot to mention that. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah,
That's
because
why I was nervous with Goddard. With Goddard
Dak
coming
is
back
30.
finally.
Yeah, he's 31. So
So yeah, he's been there. That's what I'm saying. Like at this point, it's not going to get any better. They definitely have to think about what to do after him because it's getting to that point. Like he hasn't been back to the playoffs since that one year they beat us in the division. What,
yeah,
2018?
yeah, and I mean
No,
he's.
29. No, it was like 2016,
I think
2015.
they've had like what 3 playoff games in the past 20 years.
Right. That's the only reason why they're a tad bit better than the Eagles. But the difference is we went to the Super Bowl every
We
year.
won. We've won more playoff games
We won more playoff game. We
than they've
actually
even
owned
than
our
they've even
division.
than they've
Yeah,
even played in. So
right.
I mean,
So
yeah,
they've never been competition for us. So that's why it's very hard to take this week
and
seriously.
this is his 8th season right now.
Yeah, so 8. So
Yeah, he was drafted in 2016. So
so now you're dealing with concussions. You're dealing with the fact that he's broken his ankle, and now he's got a possible torn hamstring. Like, what are you gonna
that's
do?
painful. I don't wish that on anybody. That's
I
painful.
wouldn't wish that on anybody too, but I forgot as soon as you mentioned it. I did see that in passing, and I thought,
I didn't.
Jesus.
Yeah, I just happened to. I didn't notice it until just now. Like I was like, wow, that's bad.
Because
I
then I
thought
got
maybe he
nervous.
just tweaked. I thought he just tweaked it at first. I was like, oh no, he didn't.
No. But and speaking of that, going back to injuries, so now we're dealing with the Sixers. And quickly before we end this, I just told you actually before we recorded that Tyrese Maxey has now injured his hamstring, so he might be out a couple weeks.
Mm.
So we already got a kind of a listless. Yeah, I know I got 10 minutes. Thank you. We got a listless kind of Sixers lineup right now. Still don't know their identity. Still learning how to play together. They just lost to the Clippers last night. I don't know what the score was. I know that they lost.
It was
Um,
98 to 110.
okay, so then PG played. So Paul George has gotten some playing time now. He's back. So now Joel is going to be back Tuesday. I thought maybe he was still going to be out another week, but apparently he starts Tuesday.
Yeah, well, they had to report him that he was going to play
Right.
because the suspension starts as soon as he says he's going to play. So then he has to sit out 3 games. So he should be back by the time they play the next, I think.
Oh, so it starts when they say he's available next
Yeah.
Tuesday.
So
Okay. So
they
yeah,
said
he
he's
doesn't play
available.
Tuesday.
So he's going to miss tonight. He'll miss
Tuesday. Oh no,
Tuesday.
whatever they're playing this
Uh,
weekend.
yeah. So he'll be back. They say the next game. So
Okay, so
I
whatever
mean,
that game is. I thought that was the 12th. That's why I got confused. I was like, when is he actually coming back to play? Either way, it's probably most likely the end of next week. I bring up the Sixers though because we got to talk about the fact that the reason why he was suspended. We all know that Marcus Hayes has been known since back in the Daily News days when they used to televise the Daily News TV show, and I've always known he was a writer. I've also known he's been a very controversial asshole of a writer. He likes
mhm.
to get at a lot of the black stars. He's come in Hurts at times too. I don't think Hurts gave him any mind.
Well,
But
yeah,
Joel has shown obviously most emotion because he's had an already frustrating start. So
yeah,
in an
yep.
article where you're piggybacking on allegedly what Embiid had said in the article, basically, and he had apparently rewrite it. So apparently there's two versions. So they're bringing it up because they know the original version. He tried to redo it. So the point is, you bring up the fact that he's trying to leave a legacy for his dead brother Arthur, as well as his son, who was named after his dead brother. But you want to use that against him and say, well, if you want to leave a legacy, maybe you should play.
Yeah, but
And don't do that.
Yeah. That,
so
thing
what are
is
your
like,
thoughts in general? Did he step over
I,
boundary?
okay, I know that they have their job to do, like whatever, but I think people don't think some people say he didn't overstep. I think he overstepped a little bit.
I think he
Like,
did too. But I get what they're saying.
You don't
You don't
talk
have
about
to say that.
you don't talk about somebody's dead brother or anything like that or whatever else. And you expect, see, the thing is, they let him go in and do that on purpose, like
Yeah.
to push him beat, like to push his buttons.
Yeah, the instigator.
And he also, Marcus Hayes doing it so he can be relevant because they do these stuff so they can get people read their articles. If not, nobody will fucking read them. Excuse me,
Mm-hmm. No,
no
he's
one
right.
will
You're
read
right.
them. So that's
That's the
why he's going
journalism
in.
now. You have to get clicks.
Yeah, so that's why he's doing that. So he's like, well, I need something to, I got to poke the bear a little. I need to poke the bear a little bit so I can get a rise out of him. So we can have a little hype behind this article. Now people will read it. Even if you don't like Marcus Hayes, now you read the article because you want to know what he said.
You want to know what the source was, right?
Yeah. But the thing is, he won't apologize. He's not going to apologize. And if he does, they'll do some bullshit retraction, like on it, which is probably what's happening now. Like you said, a rewrite. So that's probably going to happen. And it's just like it's important. I just think that was a move in poor taste. Like
regardless
that.
of whether or not the fact that you thought that you were echoing what he said, you don't have to word it that way. You could just say, well, I think it would be very important for all people you love to actually see you physically on the court.
Yeah, don't
and
bring up. Yeah,
you don't have to retweet. You don't have to requote what he just said, because coming from you now, it's definitely going to sound disingenuous because you don't care what the reason why he's not playing. All you care about is, why are you not on the court? And he's piggybacking off the fans who are obviously disappointed because he hasn't been able to play for the opener and all these other games. At the end of the day, I told you I ignored all of it because I said, look, I would rather he sit out now so that he's fresh for the playoffs and also can last longer in the postseason. I mean, well, vice versa, same thing. But the point is, the fact that the shove happened was just a warning. And so I think that somebody who's 7 foot African, pretty much fed up with the fact that he knows everybody's watching his every freaking move and he can't help the way his body conks out and the time it takes to ramp it up. You are cruising for a bruising, as they say, when you are instigating that kind of talk. I'm sorry. Whether or not you thought it was journalism or not, and all his fellow writers are going to stick up for him, I still say, fuck you, Marcus Hayes. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, like, there's going to be no repercussions for him doing that.
No,
Zero.
because it's
Zero.
You're not supposed to put your hands on the people who are writing. Okay, that's fine, but tell them to stop talking about my family. How about that?
but then he'll be allowed in the locker room like nothing happened.
Yeah, they did say that. I did read that he's still allowed to.
How about, okay, if Embiid's suspended for 3 games, all right, well, you know what, you're not allowed in the locker room for a certain amount of time.
Yeah, you not. How about you stay off until he actually physically plays?
Yeah. I don't want them to take away his credentials because I don't think that should happen. Because in the end of the day, yes, he was doing his job. Yeah, it's just the way he went about doing his job.
Right. He chose a different. And honestly, with the guy that has a display name of Ink Stained Wretch, he likes to be an asshole.
Well, he has a history of being an asshole.
Yeah, he's pissed Iverson off too. He pisses off everybody. I think he's one of them guys that's just jealous of the star athlete. Period. He's just one of them dudes. Yeah.
Well, he's doing it so he can be relevant. That's what it is. Like,
and honestly, the way the journalism now is not really journalism with podcasts. And I'm sure he feels he needs to stand out somehow. And this is where he comes from. He comes from the holes of East Jablip when he feels like there's an end. And this team is hurting right now, and he decided to make it even worse. And so here you go. Congratulations. You are still an ink-stained wretch. Anyway. All right. We're going to wrap this up because I think my delivery's coming and we're about to get cut off. But all right, regardless of whether we're excited or not, Dallas is coming. We're going to Dallas, excuse me. And I expect to win. And hopefully we'll talk about it next game too, because if it does happen again, that fucking 2-point conversion obsession that Sirianni has, we're going to have to limit that to just twice and then say fuck it, okay? Because this is just not, we're not doing this
Yeah.
anymore, okay?
Well, I mean, and my thoughts on that is, don't. Okay, I don't mind him doing the whole, like, all right, let's see if we can get Jerome offside so we can get closer. That's fine, whatever.
Whatever.
But like, stop.
After the first time, it's dead. Okay,
Yeah.
just go back to running it in, or just let your quarterback get a quarterback sneak. Just do something better.
And I don't care what anybody says. That second one, if you look the camera angle down the line, they got in.
He got in. Oh, that was another thing I hated about the refs, because that was clearly in. That was actually more in than the one before that they gave to him.
Yeah, exactly. But
anyway, we're gonna get cut off. But thank you, Ed. Is AJ's Sperm Princess.
Eddie
this
B.
was our brief podcast. What were we gonna say? I'm sorry.
No, go. No, you're fine.
Either way, we're going to enjoy this night of TNF. I expect Al Morgani, or what's his name? Al Morgani. What's his name? Al Matthews.
Al Matthews.
To be old and crotchety again on the mic. And God bless
As always.
Herbie Street, because his dog just passed away.
Oh.
Big Ben just died. But anyway, go Ravens, and fuck you, Marcus Hayes.
Go Ravens, yeah. No, you the big Marcus Hayes? No, that's fine.
Fuck you. Anyway, Birds of a Feather, CoEd Edition, we out. Bye.
Bye.